Hey friends, it's your girl, Venice Antoinette,
And Amber Monique.
here with another episode of Sippin'
Sip and
Spills.
spill.
And we are here with our segment, Two Cent Tuesday, where every Tuesday we read letters asking for dating advice and we give our 2 cents. So, this week is going to be another Reddit edition since it seems everyone on Reddit has love issues they need advice on. So, who
Clearly.
is it? Then us. But if at any point you want to submit a letter asking us for dating advice, you can go to the link in the description box below to submit your letters and possibly have your letter read anonymously on the show. So you can find that all down below. Also, you can join our Facebook group. And in our Facebook group, we talk about dating, relationships, and you can feel free to ask for advice in there as well, which the link will also be down below. So I guess we can just jump right in and get into this first letter. So the first one is called, Is it reasonable to suggest that it's mutual? This should be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
When I read that title, I didn't know how to take it. So let's see. Hi all. I've been having a dilemma over the past few weeks, and after overthinking and complicating it, I've decided to come here. I'm a 21-year-old male, have been talking frequently with someone, and she's an 18-year-old female that met that I met via a group of friends on Discord. We share some similar we share some similar interests and get along incredibly well. This past 2 months, we've moved away from being in group calls to private ones, almost daily as almost daily, as well as messaging each other throughout the day as well. When we talk privately, there's a real difference in how she acts, what we talk about, and the general vibe. She's also constantly asking what I think of her, her looks, etc., as well as saying how we'll probably hang out the most when the group meets up. To me, all of this could be her being really friendly to me, which is a possibility. But a person in the original group has said that it seems like there probably is mutual attraction there. I suppose I just want to know whether there could be something there or not before I ask her about it. I know the information I have given is kind of limited, so if more is needed, I'm happy to provide. Thank you in advance for getting this far.
Yeah, the info is kind of limited, but I would say if you want to know, probably just ask based on the things we talked about last week with being vulnerable and expressing your true feelings. The best thing to do is probably just say like, hey, I feel this way about you and I kind of feel like you may feel the same, but I want to make sure I'm not reading vibes wrong. If I am, it's cool. We can continue just being friends, but I think that's probably the healthy advice. What do you think?
I'm about to completely contradict everything I said last week.
See, and I was
For
contradicting.
me, I right, because when I'm reading this, it's like, okay, so you're basing these feelings off of conversations from Discord. Like, first of all, what is Discord? I keep hearing people talk about it. Like, is it
I
like
have no
another
idea.
type of like clubhouse situation?
I have no idea. I just assumed it was like a group chat or something. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Cuz I think it's like audio. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay. I didn't
But
didn't even know.
regardless, I feel like y'all should meet in person first, and you can see if you actually do like her still when you meet her in person, and kind of
Right.
see what the vibe is before you kind of just let it all out there, because it's like you could like her now, but then when you meet her it's like, oh, never mind, you know? And so it's like
So when
I don't want you to kind of like jump the gun and just be like, "Oh, I feel this way. Do you feel the same?" because it's kind of hard to tell since y'all haven't actually met. So you can't like really read, her body language or anything along those lines. And then like
Right.
some of the stuff he was saying about like her saying she constantly asks what I think of her, like her looks and things like that. I wouldn't take that to head too much. I think that's just natural conversations that women have with their friends, whether it's their male friends or their female friends. We kind of like want that validation sometimes of knowing like, hey, does this outfit look good? Hey, do you think I look good today? Da 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 da. And then, when you have a male friend, it's kind of helpful because he gives you the perspective from a guy. So I
Hmm.
wouldn't take that too seriously. But if y'all are planning on meeting up, which it sounds like y'all are, I would just wait until then, see how the vibe goes, and then have that conversation if you still feel the same.
Do you think that the way he invites her out will set the tone though? Like should he invite her out on like a date tip or like just a friendly tip?
I don't know because it said he brought up like she said something about group meetups. Let me read this one more time. Um, yeah, she said we'll probably hang out the most when the group meets up. So
Oh,
I'm
I
assuming that like as a group they plan to
mm,
all meet up. So I think that's probably the best way to go about it is to wait until y'all all meet up and then, if you and her move on one from there, fine. But definitely just meet up as the group first and just see how that interaction and vibe goes.
I forgot about that part. I feel like if she said that, that maybe signifies that she does not want one-on-one time. If she would say we'll probably hang out the most when the group meets up.
You think?
Because why say that? We'll probably hang out the most when the group meets up, like in a group setting. If you're not interested,
So I
you
guess
could
I
say,
took that as she was saying that like they'll probably hang out the most one on one outside of the group.
"Oh,
Like
hang out
I
the most." Okay,
yeah,
got you. I
that's
took
how
that
I
another
took
way.
it.
Okay, makes
Yeah, but I mean
sense.
it could go either way, but I still feel like the group setting is best because it's safe. It's kind of like
Hmm.
if things don't go well, y'all have other people to feed off of. And if things do go well and you decide to go privately, y'all can, take the time to do that separately. But I think just meeting up as a group, since it seems like y'all have like a group friendship going on, is great. And then you can see how it works between you and her individually.
Okay, I like that
Yeah.
answer. That would have been my last week answer. I was trying to
Yo,
be, I was trying to be better
Damn,
this week.
Amber's all pro communication. Like we completely flip flopped.
We
Oh
did.
snap! We didn't do our cheers.
Oh,
Cheers.
cheers!
What are you sipping on today,
I'm sipping on some rosé. How about you?
girl? Some type of red wine. I think it's a Cabernet.
Okay.
But I definitely got it from our partners at Wine Insiders. So if
Mm-hmm.
y'all want some delicious wine on a discounts from all over the world, make sure
Yes,
you go to the description box below and grab your wine. But
for sure.
anyway, um yeah, that's all I got for the young fella.
The same. I think that's good advice.
Yeah. And also keep in mind too, like I know he's 21 and she's 18, and that doesn't sound like a big age difference, but it is at
It
that
is.
age. Like
Yeah. Uh-huh.
like at
It
that
is.
age, the maturity level of an 18-year-old is nowhere near the maturity level of a 21-year-old. So that's
Right.
another reason why I wouldn't take some of the things she's saying to like um literal. I would just take
Right.
it kind of like as a friendship for now until y'all really, get to meet.
Yeah. She could be just fishing for compliments too. Like that could be
Mhm.
part of it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
especially if he says she constantly is asking that. Like, yeah, she's looking for like some type of validation.
Hmm.
Um, because for it to be constant, it's kind of like, okay. Like, I don't even think
Yeah.
if I had a boyfriend, I would be constantly asking him that. So she's looking for like
Yeah.
some
That's
type of validation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but kudos to you, sir. Moving on to the next letter. So this one is, how can I find a girlfriend at the age of 23 with no dating experience? For starters, I'm a 23-year-old male and I have no relationship experience with women. This fact makes me feel like a loser and less of a man for some reason. On top of that, I have a huge sex drive. I'm big into fitness, and I suppose I want to be with someone that has similar interests, which is important. I start graduate school next fall, and I feel as if it's too late. What should I do because I'm somewhat shy around women?
Hmm. I would say you're not a loser, so don't feel like that. Um, if you're shy, I would say maybe the best way is to. I feel like you might be less shy when you're talking about something that you're interested in, and you want somebody that's interested in the same things you're interested in. So maybe I don't know if you could join groups or clubs, or I don't know, things where you will meet other women who are into what you're in, and that kind of gives you something to start talking to them about. I would say try to branch out that way. I don't want to say just the gym because I know that's probably awkward to just walk up to somebody while you're working out, possibly. But I would just say try to
Child,
find
ain't
like,
nothing more annoying than when you trying to work out and a man all up in your
yeah,
face. Don't do that.
yeah, that's
Don't
not a
do
good
that.
idea. That's definitely not a good idea. But try to find maybe discussion groups where the point is to talk about your interests, and I'm sure you'll find other women that are into what you're into. And I think that's a good place to start. I think you're not there's nothing wrong with you. It sounds like you got your head on your shoulders, you're starting grad school. Um I think just try that. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I hate that it's like society puts this pressure that, oh, you have to have dated and, done this or lost your virginity or, all this type of stuff by whatever age. And it's like, no, like there's no age, like it's never too late to get started
Hmm.
with almost anything in life.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
if you're 23 and you've never had like real dating experience with women, then that's fine. Do it now. And to be honest, at 23, that's a great time to start because y'all can, like, if you drink, you can go out to the bar.
Right.
You can
Hmm.
like you just have more options at that age than you can dating in the teenage years or before that anyway. Like,
Right.
so,
That's true.
it sounds like you were very focused. I mean, going to grad school at 23, that's almost like going straight out of college, like very
Yeah.
close to that. So I think that's
Hmm.
commendable.
For
Um
sure.
so like, yeah, I mean, I feel like you're just focused, and now is probably a good time for you to start dating cuz once you're done with grad school, I'm sure you want to really jump into your career. And so it also doesn't seem like, well, I don't know. You might be dating for fun or dating with a purpose. Either way, you shouldn't feel guilty either way. Like if you're just
Hmm.
dating for fun or if you're dating with a purpose, just communicate it either way. Cause
That's the
that's
key.
because
Yep.
that's where things get messy is where
Exactly.
people don't communicate their intentions. If you just
Hmm.
want to have a good time because you're just starting out dating, that's fine. And there's plenty of women who will be perfectly content with that.
Yep.
I know, for example, I got on Hinge recently, more so for content for y'all, not for my own purposes. I'm not gonna lie. But but I got on there and I came across these two guys who both had like in their description that they were not interested in like anything serious. They're not on there for a relationship. They only
Hmm.
want a friendship. So it's kind of like, if we go out, we're splitting drinks, blah 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 blah. They're open to like a situationship, but they don't want anything serious. And I had a full out conversation with one of them because I was so intrigued by this
Right.
strategy. Because I was just like, wow, you're on a dating app telling people I don't even want to date you like that. Like, And so he was saying, like, once he put that in his bio, he no longer like gets matches from women who want more. And so I'm
Hmm.
like, that's genius. Like, because now you're not even going to attract people who want something that's on a different level than you. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, I'm only bringing that up because if I do think that, at 23, if you're starting to date as a man with a high sex drive, I do think maybe you should just have fun. But if you do want to get into something serious, communicate that as well with the women you're coming across, or if you decide to go the dating app route. Personally, I suggest going the dating app route just because if you're shy, you're not going to naturally put yourself out there, and this is going to be a way for you to kind of like naturally just meet people, have conversations, get your practice going before y'all finally meet up face to face, or before you actually come across people. I think it's good to kind of just have that experience just to like, get used to dealing with different type of people, so that when that opportunity comes where you do meet that person, whether it's in person, whether it's at the gym, whether it's, on a dating app, whatever it is, you're more comfortable maneuvering those situations because of like the interactions that you've had. So that would be my personal suggestion. I also agree with Amber in the sense of like finding, going to places where the women who have similar interests as you would go. So like if you really want a girl who's into fitness, I mean, yes, naturally the gym is kind of like a good space, but there's also other things that you could do. Like you can go to different like fitness retreats or conferences. You can go to like she said, like Facebook groups around like fitness and things of that nature. There's different things that you can do. You just have to think outside of the box of where those people will be. um, I'm sorry, I'm on a rant, but one last example I want to give is I have a friend who she really wanted to date somebody who was into actuary something. I don't know what that means. I just know they make a lot of money, but it's something
Okay.
related to finance, business, something, and I just know it
Okay.
was actuary was in the title. Do you know what that is? What is
No,
that, Amber?
I'm not
Oh, I thought you
familiar.
said yes. Sorry.
No.
I thought you shook your head. Yes. I'm like, oh yes, somebody can
No,
explain this to me.
I was just saying okay, like I hear,
Right.
but
So what she did was she actually started attending conferences for like people in actuary or whatever, that industry is called, even though that had nothing to do with her career at all. Like she didn't do anything close to that. But she went to these conferences with the intention of meeting men who were in this field, and then she ended up getting a boyfriend out of it. So it's like that's a
okay.
prime example of going, going somewhere knowing that this is the type of man that I want, this is like the type of career I want him to have, or this is the type of interest I want him to have, and then going in there and meeting somebody and making it work from there. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. Kind of figure out what are the things that are most important to you, and then figure out where the women are that would be interested in those things.
Yeah. So asking for myself, did she go and say like, "Oh, I'm kind of interested in getting into this," or did she just come out and say like, "I just really was interested in finding someone who's into this," or what
No,
did
I
she
mean she
say?
just went to the conference
But
like
like
as if
but
she was just attending
I
the conference,
imagine
and then
how
once
does
she
like
like
I
met, oh sorry,
go, no, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, then once she like met people there, once they started, talking and dating, that's when I think it unraveled during those conversations. But
Oh,
when
okay.
she went as if she was just a regular like person attending the conference.
Okay.
She had no interest in anything that the conference had to deal with, nothing any of the speakers were talking about, but she knew that she wanted to date somebody who was like in their world. So yeah.
Smart.
And it
Smart.
was like literally, I think her boyfriend, he didn't know for like, I mean, when they first started talking, he had no idea that like she had no interest in this. Like I think it just kind of like came up, later on when he started learning more about her career. That's what
I'm
it
here for
is.
it.
So if y'all catch me at a medical conference, trust and believe it's because I'm trying to get me a nice doctor. So I don't know nothing about the medical field, but I
Right.
will absolutely be at every single last one of those conferences.
That
Cheers
might be
on
the
that.
cheers on that. That might be the cheat code. Wow.
Yeah. But no, I hate that the guy who wrote that letter started off with kind of saying like he feels like he's a loser and less of a man. You were not less of a man and you were not a loser.
Mm-mm.
You focused on what you were supposed to focus on rather than focusing on the other stuff that kept you away from being able to even go to grad school at 23. Like, as
Mhm.
somebody who just graduated grad school, I started at 20, was I 26 when I started? I think I was 20. Yeah, I had just turned 26. So it's like, to think back at where I was mentally at 23, I didn't even have the mentality to go to like grad school at 23. And then I was like caught up in a relationship that, like, probably prolonged that process as well. So it's like,
Mhm.
I think, you should definitely recognize the things that you are doing. Like, it doesn't make you less of a man because you haven't dated women. If anything, it makes you even more of a man because women want stability. And
Mhm.
you're going to be able to offer that at a much younger age than most men who were out here chasing women.
For sure.
So, yeah. Shout out to you, bruh. But never
Shout
feel
out to
like less
you.
of a man or a loser because you're not. You're a winner in my book.
Mine too, for sure.
But yeah, so you have anything else for this young gentleman, Amber?
No, I think we covered him pretty good.
All right. Well, that wraps up this week's letters. Again, if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe if you enjoy listening to content about dating and relationships. Also, if you want to submit an anonymous letter to us asking for dating advice, you can find the link in the description box below. And last, of course, make sure you join our Facebook group where we're giving away wine to our most engaged user every single solitary week.
Mhm.
So, until next time, deuces.